I can't believe that it will be a year next week since I left my paid job and started working for myself as a coach. In this video, I'm reflecting on that very slightly, seeing how things have gone. Have I survived? Have I managed to pay the bills? My name's Matt, and if you haven't seen one of the videos before, I'm a personal development coach, and I use YouTube to basically record and document how things are going since I left work and started doing this full time. Now, I've said before about how I actually left the office, which would be about 18 months ago now. But for those first 6 months, there was a whole load of things that tied me up and I couldn't actually start working. So I was still on the books with the job and couldn't actually do anything that really got the coaching business working. So August last year, I started properly. Bit of a culture shock. I didn't realise at the time, but there was an awful lot of things that what my idea was changed, and then changed again and changed again. And I think the best way I can describe it is the most useful thing I've had is resilience and keeping going. So did I have a roadmap when I went and left? Well, there had been lots of planning up to that point. I mean, years of preparing different little things, trying to figure out what it was I wanted to do. And yes, I had a roadmap. I had a beautiful roadmap. Did I stick to it? For about 2 weeks. And then one thing happened, then another thing happened, and the roadmap changed. Then I realised more and more that there was more to what I wanted to do. And that built up into where I am just now and probably heading on. Instead of just looking at things as, oh, here's one-to-one coaching and that's the end goal, I started realising that I enjoyed the group stuff. I enjoyed sharing knowledge. I enjoyed training. I hate to say that as a coach, but those courses and what have you, I enjoyed creating that. And that's something that's coming out soon. And also part of that journey for me has been realising what motivates me. And hopefully, as part of one of the courses, that will come out and I'll be able to share that as some kind of model. Hopefully it will help people. But that's been the biggie, that things have changed. What I wanted has changed. As always though, one of the things I have to watch out for is comparing myself with other people. And that has got me down. Coaching, like a lot of businesses, especially one-person businesses, you can't really share too much with other people because the other people aren't there. And that can get you down. And that's definitely been something with myself. And when you do network with people, sometimes you can get caught up with their ambitions, their values. One day you're waking up and you realise, actually, this isn't it. I don't want to sound like a talking head song, but this isn't what I was aiming for. And that being able to go back and go, okay, what is it? What is it that gets me through the day? Where am I aiming for this? What makes me happy? Because at the end of the day, that's why I left the paid job. I wasn't happy. I was looking for something that would make me happy. So if I'm doing that, why would I keep chasing the corporate dollar if it was a corporate dollar that I was trying to avoid in the first place? Giving myself time has been good. It's helped me quite a bit. But one of the biggest surprises is that I don't do a lot of coaching. I do enough coaching, don't get me wrong. But most of my time, and I've heard this from other coaches as well, most of my time is marketing. It's creating programs, it's creating courses, it's the admin behind everything. That's about 90 to 95% of it. And I think the same goes with a lot of small businesses, that you get into it for a particular reason. And very quickly you realise that there's a whole load of other things that you've got to do before you can actually get into the things you're really enjoying. Fortunately, I've been interested. It might not be the thing that I started out to do, but I'm getting really interested in how I make my company successful. And I think that's one of the goals that's came about. It's not just being a good coach or working as a coach like that, but having a successful company, having a successful business and something that can support myself and my family. And that, in a way, has become the goal as well. The whole freedom versus structure, and yes, it's starting to rain, don't know how long I'll be able to stay out, but the whole freedom versus structure thing, as in I'm free to do what I want, but at the same time, there needs to be some sort of structure or routine, and that's one of the things that I've definitely been investigating for myself, because that was a wee bit of a culture shock. That's probably where the biggest culture shock was. And that's something that I'm working on just now, because I've realised that a lot of people find the same. So at some point you will be hearing something about either a course or a workbook or something around those ideas. Again, that's something I'm enjoying doing as well. The whole structure versus freedom thing, I've struggled with that. I have. And it's one of the things I've realised a lot of people struggle with, especially midlife, when you're trying to figure out what it is you want to do. You know, you've got a big chunk of your life behind you now, but there's so many different things that have changed, and you want to get the best out of the life that's still there. And figuring that out, then figuring out what motivates you to actually go and do that, what hooks you in, where those values are, that's become something that I've been fascinated with, or become fascinated with. And that's something that at some point I will be putting out either a course or a workbook about. And the funny thing is, the more I look at it, the bigger the topic gets. But the great thing is, it has been a bit of an adventure. You know, I often talk about take the scenic route. Well, this is a scenic route, just about every day's different. Okay, there are some days getting that motivation to get up is difficult, but I'm working on that, you know. I'm figuring ways out, but I can't deny it's not an adventure. It's not a fantastic scenic route to take. But everybody's a bit different. Everybody does it a bit different. But yeah, without a doubt, it's a great adventure. But would I recommend it to everybody? No, because this is my journey. What's your journey? And that's the part that I'm looking more and more at. That's where I help people most, I think, is helping bit by bit, helping them to figure out where their journey is, what their journey is, what excites them, because that's the important bit. It's what excites you. Not everybody can suddenly go, oh, I want to run my own business, or I want to be a coach, or I want to do whatever. Sometimes it's just about, okay, I've got a bit more spare time just now, but I don't want to leave my job. I'm happy with my job, or I'm happy getting money from the job, but what else can I do? And that is sometimes the difficult bit, but that's the bit that I really enjoy helping people with, and seeing people flourish and grow and so on. That's a great deal of satisfaction just right there. Not even the money part of it, which is not great so far, but that's where there's a lot of satisfaction, without a doubt. So the big questions, well, I can still see out my glasses. Have I coped? Yes, I have. That's a year where I've had to rely on me. I've not had a guaranteed income. I've not had a job and the 9 to 5 and what have you. So the work that I have is the work that I generate. The money that I have is the money that I've generated. I've paid the bills. Admittedly, when I left, I managed to clear off all my debts, so I didn't have that. That has brought down that if you like, the amount that has to go out each month a great deal. And that's made it easier, without a doubt it's made it easier. But I'm nearly a year. I am nearly a year, I'm 1 week away from it. And as I said, I've paid all my bills. I've even got a little bit extra in my pocket. And as much as I hear coaches talk about 6-figure sums and 7-figure sums and what have you, which is great, you know, maybe one day it would be nice, I'm not denying it. But what I can honestly say is I'm 1 week away from being a whole year of being self-employed. And I've survived. And surely that's a good thing. Anyway, hopefully you got some from this video. I know it's a bit of a short one, but it's raining. But hopefully you got something for the video. As always, thanks very much for watching the video. It's always appreciated. If there's anything that's interested you, please feel free to contact me. Don't forget there's details of the newsletter that I'm now putting out once a fortnight in the description of this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.